Whitehall, a typical British town, a place where people work and tend to their leisure. Like many other towns of a similar size, it is served by its own railway station. Sadly, trains such as this one, 3 passenger carriages hauled by an Ivert 2 MT, are becoming a rarity here. As the Ivert pulls away from the station, we ponder the growth of road transport, which has seen a sharp reduction in passenger numbers here on the railway. Most passenger services now are of a far more modest type. This Ginty sees out its final days on the line, operating a push-pull service. With many people now preferring the convenience of a bus, the train leaves almost as empty as when it arrived. The people on this bus, however, are made to wait, at least for a little while, as a diesel-hauled express passenger service powers through the tunnel, over the crossing, and through the station. Later, at the same crossing, the standard 4 MT passes through with a train of coal wagons. It will come as a surprise to no one to learn that this station is earmarked for closure. There are not many takers for seats on this railcar. For some, the railways still hold an element of romance. For others, excitement at the prospect of watching engines work in the yard. But today it's quiet. Only the passing goods train disturbs the stillness. With the way now clear, the railcar is allowed to leave the station. A pannier tank moves in the yard. Behind it, we can see an ex-Great Western Railway hall. The hall is in need of repair. The pannier tank is tasked with collecting some empty wagons from a nearby breaker's yard. A Class 22 diesel travels light engine towards the station. On arrival, the diesel enters the yard. There will be no repairs for the stricken hall. This will be its final journey. The hall will not steam again. It will join its fellows in the breaker's yard. With the departure of the hall comes an air of melancholy. Even the fine sight of this 4F cannot lift the atmosphere. Later, this warship-class diesel demonstrates to us the future of our railways. Once more, it passes through our station. Those who sit at faraway desks have decided that the future does not lie here. In this, the second episode of our series, we return again to Whitehall, a small town on the outskirts of Menton. We are here with the sunrise, just in time to see this Great Western Railway 1400 tank engine with a siphon van and one carriage. Annoyingly for the driver of this lorry, the locomotive intrudes onto the level crossing while the milk churns are loaded. But the way will be clear soon enough. This Midland 4F is another early visitor to the station with a pick-up goods. It's only now that we start to get the feeling that something unusual is afoot. This 9700 pannier passes through with a train of empty passenger stock. It's heading towards Arrowmouth. Fourth Division Arrowmouth are celebrating reaching the 6th round of the FA Cup for the first time in their history. They have been drawn to play against First Division neighbours Menton. 2 special supporters trains are being laid on for the big match. It will be a challenge, but another performance like this 1-0 victory against 2nd Division Sheffield Hallam in the last round will certainly make a game of it. Meanwhile, back at the station, this Ginty shunts the required wagons from and to the goods train. Another train of empty passenger stock passes through. This time, it's hauled by a grimy 2MT. Shunting duties complete, the Ginty takes on water, while the 4F goes on its way. Normal operations continue. A push-pull service, a rail car, and a 2MT taking empty fish wagons back to Arrowmouth all pass through. Of course, not everyone has time for football. Work continues as normal at the breaker's yard. John Robinson still has fish to sell, and the landlord of the Talbot is hoping for bumper takings. The first football special exits the tunnel. The train is a heavy one. With the notorious Dicky Incline to contend with, the Ginty will provide banking assistance. The first train makes it safely to the top, and the Ginty returns to the station to await the next train. Once more, it takes position at the rear of the train. With the football specials safely through, normal operations recommence with a local service hauled by this pannier. Our final train of the day is this standard 4MT with a coal train to Arrowmouth Power Station. The electricity to power the television sets and radios that will be following the big match does not make itself, after all.